And here we are at part 3 of Sonic for the Game Gear. And we're on the last, Act 2 of Labyrinth Zone. I would call it the last act because, the third act is always just the boss. And those waterfalls take you by surprise. At least they kind of do. But I would recommend jumping as fast as you can to reach that little nook up there. But now we're back in the water. My favorite part. And the slowdown that I was mentioning earlier, which is also present in this act of Labyrinth Zone, it's across all versions. Like, I'm playing the Mega Collection Plus version, but the slowdown's here. If I played it on an emulator, it was probably be the same slowdown. And I did also play the Game Gear games that you could get through Sonic Adventure DX, which, this was one of them, and still slowdown. I think it's just inherent to the game. Now, if you look at those dragons on the wall, you've seen them before. They spit fire in the Genesis version. Here, it's high-speed bubbles. I guess. I don't know. That's all I got left. But I'm always curious about the designers for this level. I mean, this was early in Sega's life, I know that, but as like a game designer, trying to base it off of, looking at a water mechanic, I just wanted them. I wanted to hope that they play tested this part, even in the Genesis version as well, and went, is this really entertaining? Is this fun? I mean, it's got some merit, but the slowdown, like, hindering gameplay is always, in my book anyway, has always proven to be far more negative than positive. Oh, wait, we're glitching back on land again? But it's okay. We're on land anyway. And the Chaos Emerald in this zone, in this act, is actually easy to spot. It's very hard to miss. Go up here and go to the left real fast to grab it, and booyah. There we are. And we're back to the seizure zone. I'm so excited. But now our emerald count is at 4. 2 more left. And yeah, this game does the 6 emeralds as opposed to the 7, which will be staple in all the other titles. We have 1 minute. Go. Alright, off to a great start. I got a little bit wary there, because I felt as soon as I would hit that bumper, I would be sent off. Which has... oh, man. Alright. I'm honestly trying to get out of the stage as fast as I can, but... I just have no control at this point. I'm trying to do whatever I can to... oh my.
Whatever it takes.
Oh. Yeah, I time out here, so now the zone is over. Going to be over. And you don't keep any of the rings. Obviously, there has to be some penalty. Yep, that continue monitor. I don't get that as well. I'm sure I'll survive. The boss level of Labyrinth Zone. The only odd part about this that I was suddenly worried about, because it drops me in the middle of, in the middle of water. But you don't drown in this at all. I guess Sonic decided now to bring a snorkel or an air tank or something, because now he's perfectly able to breathe underwater just fine. And the boss fight and everything here is going to be in the water. I do regret grabbing the shield power up. Granted, it gives me a hit, but all I'm seeing right now is a bubble. So here's our Eggman. Alright, there we go. We're off to a great start. This game, it's a bit jarring as a boss battle to have to fight him using these water physics. when you move so slow, it's kind of hard to time it right. It's defending my death, but still, I think it's valid. He'll shoot 2 pellets off to the side that arc. Even when standing, that will hit you. Whenever he's on the top parts, he'll send out this missile that has homing capabilities, very slight homing capabilities. I found it best to stay on the side that he's on. And, stay on the walls of either the left or the right. And just jump over it when it homes, because it has to go downward. Aww. I have plenty of lives to go. And when you reach above 9 lives, it counts them in the result screen, but it doesn't show them in the game HUD. So you'll always have 9 until you actually hit 8 lives. If I remember correctly, I think I was at like a 13 or 14. Should be safe, now that I have a set strategy down. It's just that bottom section, bouncing on him is always a risk for me anyway. I always found like I'll never reach that top section and just fall out. He's been down here for a good couple minutes or so and not one drowning thing. Nope, looks like I still don't have it down. But this should be it though, if I remember correctly. No more deaths from there on out. I know I was throwing him in just to kind of show how hard the battle can be. Hard's not the right word, I guess just obnoxious. Because it's a simple procedure, just hitting into him, I think 7 or 8 times, but these water physics I've never grown accustomed to. You can play the game as many times as you want, I never would get used to these water physics, especially when it comes to fighting a boss. Just used to the speedy action kind of fighting that we have now. Decided to play it safe, jump over the pellets. We can drag out the fight, but it doesn't matter. And with that, we break the capsule, and Eggman should have... Alright, I guess he's immune to drowning as well. Alright, okay, well let's just go with it. On the bright side though, they let out penguins and seals. I was about to say, if they let out birds and pigs, and then you just find them float up to the top ceiling. That was counterproductive. But with Labyrinth Zone done, we're on to Scrap Brain Zone. And this Scrap Brain Zone is I think is miles better than the Scrap Brain Zone in Genesis version. It's much more fluid and cohesive when it comes to speedy platforming while also being very threatening. You have the flame pillars on top, these conveyor belts that can throw you forward or backward. There's also little electric disco balls on the floor that will shock you. Occasionally, anyway. It's fast gameplay, but it's also, you know, supposed to tell you to play it smart. Or in that case, just run into it twice. And it has various puzzle elements like switches and the opening gates. And I think it's honestly fun for a final level, as opposed to most platforming suffering from a syndrome of the last level being this long, monotonous trek. And boom, Act 1 done in less than a minute. Pretty impressive. For a final level. We're back to 13 lives. There we go. Scrap Brain Act 2. This one is a bit of a maze and can confuse you if you aren't careful, but well, I'll be showing you what to do to get the emerald, which is in this act, and how to navigate through the maze as quickly as possible, I believe. Because you will see yourself going in circles, because there are multiple paths and different ways, different buttons that open different gates, and it can get a little bit crazy for newcomers, but if you watch this playthrough, you'll see a pretty strong method in getting out. The caterpillars are back in the game, but they're a little bit simpler this time around. They don't feel as flaky when it comes to their hitboxes. On that section, you saw the fork, you take the top road. This is to get the Chaos Emerald. And here there's going to be 3 pillar aisles. That's a bottomless pit. That's a bottomless pit. But if you jump down this third one and miss the spring, boom, take you to a hallway, which will take you to a teleporter. And what's out of that teleporter? The emerald, if you saw it flash for a second. More flickering, but the emerald was there. That's our 5th emerald. And now we have to go up to the top left here. Now what you're going to want to do is have that left gate open and then go back. We're going to be going out of here and taking the bottom route next time. Now here, being gutsy or whatever as a platformer, thought I'd be able to make this last fire pillar here. See, the sound effect messed me up, I want to say, because I hear the fire pillar from the last one ending as well. So I just edit it till I'm out of that hallway. The magic of editing. And now we're taking the bottom path. Always fun to gather up speed that way. I do not recommend, on the right over there, you're going to see a big aisle. I do not recommend jumping in there. You will fall past the hallway that you need to get to. So you're going to have to go down the slower way, which is taking out these enemies and just working your way down. And I can't remember what happens if you do fall down there. I think it's a teleporter that takes you to the top part to do it again. And who needs to go through that? There it is. And if you did what you did before, the left gate is open, and you can now continue with the last part of the level. Or just die. That works. I felt like I was done. And the way the gates work for some of them, the ones that don't operate on buttons, you will see that if they're illuminated with those little pockets on the sides, means they will open on the side that they are entered from. So obviously, enter from the left with the pockets on the left, the gate will open. And there's the Sonic flag. See, I went through it. I had 0 rings, and I wasn't hit. I know that. I think that's the criteria. Maybe not collecting any rings throughout that run. That's something to think about. Now we're on the boss level. The boss level of Scrap Brain is a maze, but not a maze. You know what I mean? There's not multiple dead ends. It's just trying to navigate. You're trying to reach the top as far as high up as you can. It's not hard in the fact that you'll get lost often. You just need to keep up, stay up. Go through gates whenever you can, because they normally are actually very generous with letting you go the correct way. Normally 1 or 2 extra paths will eventually take you the right way. We are getting close to the end, and it is pretty short, but to its defense, it is a Game Gear game. Not much content or DLC or season passes can be put in to make it more appealing, I guess. There's Eggman, once again proving that he's faster than us, than Sonic. Ah well. Apparently we just watched him get away, but now we are going to slowly follow him in the elevator. And with that, we're going to be seeing you guys in part 4, once our results screen is done, where we finish this game.